Attorney General William Barr says he expects to release the full version of the Mueller report with redactions within a week. Barr made those comments on Capitol Hill Tuesday while testifying before the House Appropriations Committee. Members of the House are divided on the Attorney General's summary of the report and how he prepared it for release. And those divisions are also apparent in the Senate, where Barr will testify before its Appropriation Committee on Wednesday.
I trust the Attorney General to give us all of the information that we need without revealing classified information.
I'll wait till I see it, but thus far I don't think Barr has conducted himself in a manner that earns people's trust. To issue a report quickly within 48 hours and now spend weeks before he issues the full report, it calls into question why he was doing what he did.
Natalie Andrews is on Capitol Hill. She covers Congress for the Wall Street Journal. Natalie, thanks so much for joining us. We just heard from Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell and Minority Leader Chuck Schumer. What more are you hearing from lawmakers after Tuesday's testimony from the Attorney General?
Good evening, Elaine. You know, it really matters if you're a Republican or a Democrat on what you took away from the hearing today, and in the Senate, what you're going to take away or ask tomorrow as they're preparing. It's a little interesting. This is an appropriations hearing, so it's supposed to be about money, but it's also the first time lawmakers have been able to ask Attorney General Barr questions, and it seems like Democrats walked away not getting enough information. Republicans asked repeatedly. We saw Tom Graves in the House hearing today ask, you know, was there collusion? Was there obstruction of justice? He wanted to get those answers firm from the Attorney General. But on the Democratic side, they wondered why we didn't see more of, say, the summaries that Mueller wrote and gave to the Attorney General. Why didn't they release more information directly from the special counsel himself? So it seems like there weren't a lot of conclusions, though we did learn that we'll see the report possibly this weekend, in the next week. So we should get more answers soon, which will be helpful to everyone on the Hill.
Yes, absolutely. But what would lawmakers have to do to get the full unredacted report?
Jerry Nadler said today, he's the chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, that he's ready to issue the subpoenas. The House voted last week, you may remember, to authorize him to be able to issue them. So all he has to do is serve them and issue them. So if he doesn't see what he wants, if the redactions are too much, then we may see them do a subpoena, which will probably get held up in court. Don't expect the subpoena and then we see the report the next day, but it will get the ball rolling.
Well, are any Republicans pushing for an unredacted report?
The Republicans seem to really, you saw Mitch McConnell, they seem to be saying, well, we don't want to expose personal information of someone that has not been convicted of a crime. They point to grand jury information that is typically not revealed in a public report, things like that. So Republicans seem to want to wait to see how much is redacted before they want more. We really haven't seen them issue some criticism of Barr just yet. We don't have the report.
Right. Well, what more are you hearing, Natalie, from lawmakers about calling special counsel Robert Mueller to testify, and what specifically do they want to hear from him?
We saw Republicans earlier this week call for Mueller to testify, even during the spring break recess, which is starting tomorrow. The House will be gone for 2.5 weeks. So they do want to. Republicans do want to see him. I think Republicans want some clear, definitive words from Mueller on the obstruction issue. You have Trump saying that that he's totally exonerated, and so Republicans want Mueller to come in and say that as well, to kind of close the book on this ahead of the president's campaign. Democrats would like Mueller to come in thinking that there's more. They don't necessarily trust the Attorney General. He's a political appointee, and they're telling me that they want to see the full report themselves. They're members of Congress. They have oversight power. They want to see the report.
On another topic, President Trump is pushing back at reports that the administration was planning to restart a controversial practice of separating families at the U.S.-Mexico border. How are lawmakers reacting to the administration's move toward a tougher immigration policy?
This is one thing that's created a lot of buzz on the Hill. I talked to Senator Ron Johnson today. He's the chairman of the committee that would look at immigration policy, and he says he is drafting legislation to limit asylum requests at the border, and he wants to limit the number of crossings. The president's comments and the departures at DHS have only upped up the volume because they feel like this is amping up this crisis. Democrats are very worried that the departures at DHS will lead to more conservative policies that they're very worried about. It's really hard in a divided Congress to get anything done legislatively on immigration. It's hard in a unified Congress to get things done on immigration, but it seems like something needs to give here because Donald Trump wants to see Congress act, and the amount of asylum claims at the border is increasing and expected to increase with the better weather and things like that.
So when it comes, though, to White House immigration policy, how much of an influence do lawmakers really have on the White House?
Elaine, people are saying that Ron Johnson said he had called the White House last night and talked about DHS. He was concerned about the shakeup and the people leaving. Congress would have to get together, and either Republicans push back. We saw Republicans successfully push back against Trump last week when he was talking about closing the border. Mitch McConnell was very forceful, saying that's not going to happen. We don't want to do that. Don't do that. But we do see Republicans push back against the president just verbally when they see something that could have economic concern. But we're just not seeing action on the Hill yet in terms of wanting to get ball rolling on policy. Democrats and Republicans are so far away on agreeing on anything right now.
Let me ask you about the DHS personnel shakeup here. Republican Senator Chuck Grassley told the Washington Post he was, quote, very, very concerned that citizenship and immigration head Francis Cisna could be out next. How much conflict is the administration creating with Republicans over immigration issues in general?
There's a lot of concern about what's next and a lot of uneasiness. The departures at DHS seem to have hit Congress as a surprise. They weren't expecting this. They are already feeling uneasy with what's happening at the border, and this has come as a surprise. They're also getting ready to start the appropriations process and things that Congress takes very seriously, and now they canceled an appropriations hearing today because they didn't have someone to bring to the floor who was actually able to make decisions for DHS.
All right, Natalie Andrews on Capitol Hill. Natalie, thanks very much.
Thank you.